go ahead and call our meeting to order. And this time I'll turn it over to the Finance Committee. Mr. Reynolds, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me, Wayne?
Yes.
I can't hear Wayne. Wayne, are you on mute?
This mic's muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Now. Okay,
All
so
right, let's talk about the 2021 city budget.
okay,
Everybody happy with it?
I've reviewed it. I think everything looks good to me.
Yeah, I
Is there
think,
anything you want to go ahead and talk about the,
Yeah, I was talking to Wayne earlier today. We talked a little bit there at the last meeting about doing the double payment
yes.
towards the bond.
Yes.
And I was thinking we were going to do a resolution on that. Did we not decide that? Or maybe I never made that motion.
That was my recommendation, but
Well, we can do, I would think one of two ways, Dulcie or Cecilia. We can either include it in the budget itself for an extra payment, or, I mean, that's how you're gonna have to pay it. Just a resolution's not gonna do it without putting it in the budget. You can do a resolution, but you still gotta put it in the budget for it to be able to be paid. So it's however you wanna do it. I did make a note to change that and add it to the budget. What you will see, I did not do a new sheet, but under the small accounts, what you will see is if you'll go to your city sales tax, what we would do right there, David or whomever, we're at the bottom where it says disbursements, you've got general fund, street fund. Right there, we would put extra bond payment. And I can do that in the budget and have it ready for you by next week, if that's what you want to do. You can do a resolution. Phyllis can fix a resolution, but you still gonna have to put it in the budget.
Yeah, I think I do want it in the budget, but I was thinking too, like for in the future, I don't know if this group breaks up or other people are involved, that at least we've got something where we kind of set a precedent for doing that. I don't know.
I don't know that I would pass anything permanent. I think because if something happened, if sales tax revenues dropped ridiculously low, then you've got yourself, I don't think I'd commit myself more than 1 year at a time. I mean, I just think that, you can always plan on it. You can always budget it for the next year, but I think to pass something that says that you are going to do this I just think you need to look at the revenues every year before you decide to do it. To me,
it's priority above a lot of things. So to me, that ought to be the top thing that goes in the budget to make sure that we don't eventually run out. Like if we did a resolution, it should be for at least 13 years. I don't know. I mean, that's my feel of it. I mean, to me, if we can't make this payment down the road when the tax money runs out, that's going to put whoever in a serious situation. So to me, it's a pretty serious deal to get it in there at least. And we all seem to be in agreement that it seemed like a good idea. But to me, it gives us a more real idea of what we actually have to budget. If we start with, okay, well, we know we need to make a double payment, then what extra can we do after that, or can we do extra after that? Because if we're not making a double payment for the next 13 years, then we will run out of the money, the tax money that the people's entrusted to us to manage, right?
Okay, so what do you want to, in the resolution for it to say, the council will commit to an additional $250 out of city sales tax to pay on the bond issue? Basically, is that what you're wanting?
Yeah, and I don't think it has to go for 17 years. It only needs to go for 13 years, roughly.
how much extra will that be? Has anybody put the pencil on it, or?
That's 250,000.
And that'll pay it off, and
And that's what y'all mentioned last time, was $250.
Well, if you do it for,
Bond issue in the budget right now is 343,000.
Yeah, but part of that's interest.
Well, that's the regular payment. That's the actual payment, the bond
well,
payment.
that, okay, so it's 343,000 a year for 30 years, is that right?
Yes.
That's right.
Well, if we do a resolution, my suggestion would be worded in such a way it says if funds available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Supposing we run into a emergency.
Well, that's why I think Wayne said if we put in there, you know, that the wishes of the city council is to make an additional 250,000 extra payment per year if funds are available. Then that should cover both sides. That gets you a way out that 1 year, say that 1 year, maybe something happened and you really need a little extra for some strange reason, it would actually have a little door open without having to come back, abolish that resolution, and then do another resolution. It would just be a time thing, probably.
But does that tie us to the 250? Is it 250 or nothing, or could we put in there?
You can do whatever you budget.
Well, right, you could do it, you could actually do a resolution that says additional monies will be paid each year on bond issue as money is available, or as funds are available. Would you want something like that?
That way you cover it both ways.
Okay, we'll work on the resolution, we'll have it ready for you Monday night that says
And
something.
There might be a year we feel like we could only pay 150,000. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
We better pay something. We better.
Yeah, I feel like I just want to have some kind of where we made a commitment to do it and really make every effort to do it, because it will turn into a serious problem if we don't take it serious for the next few years.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll get a resolution for y'all to review by next Monday. Now, this year, did you want to do the 250? Because I do need to add it to the budget.
I'd like to have it in there and it looked like we had it, we could do it. So
Yeah, we can do it. Okay, so we will put 250. I'll go in there and do the correct stuff. Phyllis will need to add 250 to that city sales tax. We'll have that ready also.
sounds good.
Yes.
Okay, anything else on the budget?
Other than if we could, please, if we could put the resolution for the approval of the 2021 city budget and the 2021 Malvern Waterworks budget. Both of them are resolutions. We'd like to put those on the agenda.
Okay.
Anybody have questions about the waterworks budget?
I think they were real similar. They asked for just very little compared to what, I mean, most of the time our budgets are all the same unless we need some additional items. But David is available if you want to ask him anything.
Okay, do I hear a motion to put this resolution on the agenda for the council meeting?
I'll make a motion, we put the
Y'all are recommending to be on the agenda?
We're not putting it on there, we're recommending.
Recommended, excuse me, recommending.
I'll make that motion.
I second it.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're recommending.
Thank you.
Not on.
Okay, so next, well, let's go ahead and cover, we'll do, also, under the agenda, Larry, I'll put on there, I'll make sure that we have a resolution concerning extra payment on the bond payment. How's that?
That's fine.
So we'll need to ask you if you'll put that on the agenda.
Anything else for finance? Your motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn to finance.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Little Larry.
Okay. I'm gonna call the agenda meeting to order. Mayor, you've got some updates on the walking path?
Yes, we do need the if you would please put the resolution on the, about the extra bond payment. We'll need to have that on the agenda to vote on.
I'm gonna get to that here in just a minute, yeah.
Okay. Yes, we have updates on the walking park. We finally to the point that we're fixing to start bidding on that. I did put a kind of a drawing of the, walking path. We did not get all the money. We did get 80,000. And so this is going to include sidewalks to the pavilions, a new pedestrian bridge going over to the new bathrooms. And this will just make it a lot better, more handicap accessible. That's the one thing, one huge complaint I have all the time in the city park is people in wheelchairs with all the routes cannot get around. So we did get the TAP grant. This path will be going to bid probably sometime next month. And I just want you to know that that will be happening next month. I just wanted you to see the drawing. So that was 80-20. The 20,000 was budgeted this year. It won't be used because the project didn't start. So it will be, it's already in the budget. It was there last year. I kept it in the budget this year. Our 20,000 is the 80-20. And we can do some of our in-kind for our 20% match. And we will do all that we can to help make that happen. So I just wanted you to see that. The next thing, I just have an update from Cecilia on Morrison Park, so I'm gonna let her take over.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. We have tentatively reached an agreement with the Mangus heirs regarding the Morrison Park. As you all know, the school has used it for eternity for its baseball and softball teams, and currently the Mangus heirs have sued us asking that the property be returned to them because we did a lease with the Malvern Public Schools. The Malvern Public Schools have agreed to pay the Mangus heirs a dollar amount for their interest in the property. And we would like to agree to let them do that and to give our interest in the Morrison Park to the Malvern Public Schools. We can do that because they are a nonprofit government entity, and as a municipality, the only way we can give property to someone is if they are a government agency or 501c3. So at this time, I would like for the council to approve that we enter into the agreement with Malvern Public Schools and the Mangus heirs to let Malvern Public Schools purchase that interest in the property and us donate our interest in that property to the Malvern Public Schools. So that's the status as of right now. The agreements have been prepared, but until you all approve doing that, I cannot sign off on it or make a total commitment to either party. So I'm asking you to give me the approval to donate our interest in Morrison Park to the school.
Are there any other organizations using that park like they used to when the school's not involved over there?
No, sir.
The first field is open to the public, but it's kind of like first come, first served if you want to practice your ball teams.
But they don't have a league over there, they don't have a league anymore?
No.
Okay. It's
The only
strictly,
thing, the league play is, any league play that's been played is now at the Boys and Girls Club.
okay.
I think that it's in our best interest to donate it so that we are no longer required to maintain it. As you all know, the street department has had to do that in their spare time as needed. And
Along with the school.
yes,
But
of course.
also insurance. We also have insurance on all of it.
Mhm.
I didn't find out exactly what we pay, but we do insure all of it.
So that will alleviate any and all costs associated with that. And those resources can be used elsewhere, such as City Park or wherever might need those resources to be.
Do we do that by resolution or just agree to do it?
By ordinance.
by ordinance. So you're gonna have it ready next meeting?
Yes, sir, I will, and I'll ask that the emergency clause be added to that because the trial date for that is December the 21st. And I'd like to get that done and over to them before that so that we can have that removed from the court's docket.
I don't remember us really having any interest in it, so it just sounds like a win-win to me.
Well, it's a shame that our school can't continue using it, but the trust is adamant they are going to sue us for us to pay the value of it, and the school stepped in and said, if you'll let us continue having our ball games here, they will pay the trust just to satisfy everybody so they can continue having their games there.
It's less expensive for them to buy those people out than to build a new field.
Right. Is it a lot of money? Can we know the money?
Yes, sir, it'll be public record, $100,000.
Jeez.
That's a
Okay.
bargain.
They
Well,
demanded-
yeah, but,
In the initial demand, it was 600,000 they wanted.
oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that's a bargain for the school. It was
It
a
is.
better deal than they had to pay anything though.
Well, they're the only ones that's actually improved the property and put everything in all these years. I mean, the city hasn't in years, for a long time. Probably since the Boys and Girls Club got their fields finished, probably.
How did they come back on it? What did the contract say because that's been going on for a long, long time.
The deed that we received from Miss Manga said that if the park was no longer used for a city park, then the property would revert back to her. And when we signed the lease with the school district, her heirs came forward and said it was no longer being used as a city park, and they wanted it back. And that was the dispute, which I truly believe we could all prevail in, but the school doesn't want to take that risk, which I can't blame them because they put a lot of money into that park. And they would really like to keep it.
Well, it's just better that they own it, so that makes sense to me.
Well, and I'm sure they're gonna probably go ahead and spend even more on upgrades once this is all settled. Because they've kind of held off on doing stuff they would like to do, like new concession stand, new bathroom, things like that, just because not knowing what was gonna happen.
Right.
Okay, Mayor, update on Perla?
We've got Cecilia here. We're gonna kind of tell you something. Well, let me start out this way first. Last month, they actually gave us 2 hot checks. And finally, we told them we had to have a cashier's check or cash. But when they brought us a cashier's check, it was like $6,600 short, or a little bit more than $6,600 short. So I told David from this point forward, we will not accept personal checks from Perla. Everything has to be paid by cashier check. Now,
This is from the new company that bought the water system?
no. This is
Use
Perla.
them to pay their bill.
Once they filed bankruptcy, the old money that they owed us, the $250,000 plus $269, it kind of was saying account number 1. Well, when you file a bankruptcy, everything ceases to that point. So we had to open them another account, let's say account number 2. So account number 2, they paid all their bills they were supposed to pay up until last month, and that's when they were short $6,600. Now, this month's bill will be due on December the 10th. And so we don't know what's going to happen, but I have had David contact them and let them know that it's only cashier's check or cash. We will not take any personal checks. So now I'm going to turn over to Cecilia and let her tell you what she found out from the bankruptcy attorney.
Okay, as the mayor said, the balance right now before December is $6,600. They were short last month. Our bankruptcy attorney, Miss Judy Henry with Wright, Lindsay and Jennings, we've been in constant communication about what we can do. She sent me a list of our options, which are One is to file what we call a relief from stay in the bankruptcy court so that we can pursue our complaint over here in state court and move forward by getting that resolved and getting a judgment against them. And we put it out there to discontinue water to Perla, because we can do that. But if we ask for a relief from the stay and to discontinue supplying water, if the court approved that, we would just move right along. If they didn't, they would require the city of Perla to post adequate protection, which is somewhat like a bond, to cover any of their defaults that might happen from here forward. So it's essentially a security deposit. It doesn't go for what they already owe us, but what they could fall behind on going forward. In addition, our second option is to file a motion in the bankruptcy court to have their case dismissed because they haven't done anything on it. Again, if we were granted a motion to dismiss, we go back over here to state court, finish up the case, get a judgment against them, move forward with that. Our third option is to do both of those at the same time. Ask for both of those. Our fourth option is to do nothing and wait for Liberty to consummate the purchase, or Perla to tell us that they're not going to sell it to Liberty, which puts Perla back at the start of trying to sell the water company. So we can do all four of those things. But as of right now, Liberty has received their approval to buy it from the Public Service Commission. I don't know what the holdup is. Have no idea what is stalling it. I've got communication from Perla's attorney saying that it's Liberty who's taken the long time. It's not them. In fact, it says that the mayor and the attorney are putting heat on Liberty. And if Liberty doesn't get it going, they're going to reach out to buyer B or buyer C. I have no idea who those could potentially even be. But our bankruptcy attorney recommends that we move forward with options 1 and 2, which are asking the court to allow us to go after Perla in state court to get a judgment against them, or in the alternative, to have Perla's bankruptcy dismissed because they're not doing what the bankruptcy was set up for. In Chapter 9 for a municipality, it is, they have asked the court to allow them to sell the asset. They're not asking for reorganization, which is your common bankruptcy for a business, is go in, let me set it up again and try it again. That's not what they ask for. They're asking for to sell the asset. So at this point, we need to, move forward in some way, because clearly Liberty and Perla are not moving fast, are not really making any progress. So my recommendation to you all is to allow us to move forward in the bankruptcy case and do what we need to do to get our money at this point. And ultimately, I've talked with David about what he would like to have happen, or where we at. We've talked about, quote, taking it many times, and we may be to that point right now. It may be our best option is to get our judgment against Perla and then do what we, think is best, which ultimately could be satisfying that judgment through taking the system. That's an option, but we got to get there first. And option 1 and 2 at this point will get us there. So,
which option was turn the water off?
That goes with number 1, which is
okay.
Asking the bankruptcy court to let us move forward in state court, which can include cutting off the water.
I
So,
see it. Didn't they already break the bankruptcy, agreement or whatever by not paying us?
no, they, as the mayor said, the day they filed bankruptcy, we had to take everything they owed and put it over here and wait for
How much was that? What was that number?
$269,076.97.
And they owe us how much now?
As of today, their water, bill total is $30,849. Water, sewer, everything.
But they have to the 10th to pay.
Yes, that's due on the 10th.
The what's arrear, what's past due is $6,632.
$32.
So total though, right now, they owe us over $300,000.
Yes, if you were to combine those. But we can't move forward on the 269,
I understand that, but it's still money that we need to get back.
most definitely.
Well, I remember when we were talking about this, we said that if they didn't pay us, that we could take some kind of step. Now, is that what you're saying, getting a judgment from the state?
Yes, but we have to ask the bankruptcy court for permission to do that.
But we could have just done that at any time anyway?
No,
Or
no.
because-
Yeah,
and now we have to
as soon as they filed bankruptcy, we're precluded from moving forward in state court.
Okay. But because they're not paying us now, that gives us a reason?
It bolsters that, but you can always ask for relief from the bankruptcy court, but we haven't done that because, the whole asset purchase agreement with Liberty was in place. We met with Liberty. It's moving forward. And at this point,
We're paying their bill?
yeah.
Well,
Up
how many
until-
people have they missed?
Up until October, they had been current. Till
So
October.
they are current now.
Well, not now.
He said
October
that.
and November, we've had problems.
In November, Mr. Wilson, in November, they were short paying their entire bill by $6,632. So
So
what
they
happened?
missed one payment.
Well, it was a partial. What they
Short
did
one
is they wrote us 2 hot checks, 2 bad checks. So we told them they would have to bring a cashier's check from the bank or cash. When they brought us a cashier's check, it was $6,632 short of what the full payment was. So right now, they're late $6,632, and then they have another 23,000. Another 20, say 23,000 is due by December 10th. We don't know if they're gonna pay that or not. Yes, sir. That's due by the 10th, and we don't know if they're gonna pay it or not.
So actually, again, they've missed one payment,
A partial, yes, sir, a
Right.
partial payment.
partial payment. Mhm. Okay.
I think that it makes a lot of sense to me to go on and get a judgment from the state personally, but I don't know how the rest of the council feels. This has gone on long enough.
Well, David, I can remember when this thing was $60,000 and 70 and 90 and we thought, well, we can't let it get too far out of hand. And we've sat here and they filed bankruptcy and now the number is over 300,000 total. You got to stop the bleeding somewhere.
It's
I
probably
like-
time to go through, ask the bankruptcy court to let us go on and do it through the state and just sue them.
And the suit has been filed. It's just sitting over there on hold right now. As soon as we get permission from the bankruptcy court to move forward, we come here locally, and move forward with it. And I anticipate that would not take very long. The longest part of it will be getting the permission from the bankruptcy court to do that.
And that's option 1, right?
Yes, that is option 1.
Under either one of these options, you said there's a possibility we would have to take it.
Well, if you wanted to do that, it is a possibility we could do that because once we have a judgment against them, we have to collect it. And the only asset they have is that water system.
And you mean the physical system itself?
Yes, sir.
They don't have anything, that's all they've got, basically.
In their bankruptcy petition, their assets include a truck and,
Is it a backhoe, maybe?
yeah, a piece of equipment that's not paid for. Those are the only tangible assets that they had. Of course, their real estate, their city hall building and such. But yeah, the water system is really all they own.
So do y'all want to have that on the agenda to vote on what direction to go in, or what do you want to do?
Cecilia, what option, 1 or 2, do you feel comfortable with?
I believe we should do 1 and 2 combined, because you can always ask the court to do something, or in the alternative to do another thing. And I think if we put their feet to the fire and ask the court to dismiss the case completely because they haven't pursued it, that helps as well. But ultimately, we want our judgment against them in state court, so 1 and 2 will get us there. So I'd like to throw both at them at the same time.
So do you want to add that, to vote on that at the agenda?
Do you have to have a vote?
Well, I do not believe I have to, but I'd like to make sure y'all are all on board.
I don't have a problem with it, but I'm just saying, I don't think I think you can take a straw poll if you want to, but we gotta do something.
All right, well, we know we can't really vote, but let's get your opinions of what you want to do. Larry, what do you want to do?
1 and 2.
Mr. Wilson?
I don't know. Whatever was best for the city, 1 and 2, I guess. Are we gonna put it on the agenda or what?
Well, I'm just trying to get a poll of what y'all want to do. Do you want to put it on the agenda to vote on it, or do you want us just to go forward with it?
Let's go forward.
David?
I want to hit them with a late fee for what they didn't pay if we didn't do that. and go
We are
1 and 2.
included the late fees, yes, we've included that.
Uh,
So do you want to move forward with pursuing it?
Yes.
Okay. Wayne?
1 and 2, but I'd like to see it on the agenda. Go ahead and get us on record.
Okay.
All right.
Peggy, you'd like to see it on the agenda too? I see your face.
Yes, yes.
Mayor?
We'll do it.
Well, and let me, I'm just gonna throw this out there. We need to really think about, do we want to turn the water off? Because that could be a really tough thing for those folks not to have any water at all. And I don't know if the state somehow.
That's what I'm worried about is shutting people's water off right now, especially.
Well, this doesn't shut their water off. Nothing we're doing shuts their water off. We're just trying to get a judgment.
And
I mean, we can.
that's what she asked me a while ago. You want to include that?
We can ask, or let me clarify. Our current situation, if for some reason they didn't make their December payment or were short or whatever, we could cut the water off. But with 1 and 2, it is included in there that we could ask the court to allow us to discontinue supplying water. Now, you know, we've threatened that 100 times. We've not done it, but
Hey, let's get the court's agreement that says that we can do that. And that don't mean we have to do it, but we have the option to do it.
That's what I was saying. We're just trying to get
But that should be included. That should be included so we can at least have the option to do it if we choose to. I'm not saying do it. I'm not saying turn the water off yet, but sooner or later, you're going to have to do something. You can't give away the water from now on.
We need to know that we're in the right and we have the authority to do something if we need to.
Larry, we're not giving away the water if they are just a half a month short on the payments. They're paying
Well,
the
no,
bill every
no.
month.
Yeah, but William, they filed bankruptcy on $269,000.
But
We
then
can't
since
touch.
then, they've been paying the bill every month, right?
Well, now they have it on the 269, but
On the 269, still owe us the 269.
right, but from that point forward, they have paid what they were supposed to until November.
I understand that.
Till November, yes, sir, but they still owe the 269. But since they went into bankruptcy, we can't even pursue them on that at all right now until it's kicked out of bankruptcy court.
Hey,
And that's part
William,
of the bankruptcy.
William, think what they would owe us if that was accumulating interest.
Right.
You know,
Mr.
if they were
Wilson,
continually not paying that, all the late fees like we do our customers, you know, that's just sitting there. You know, that's money they've owed us and owed us and owed us, and we could have been doing some good with some of that money, or at least gaining interest on it. But because they've been mismanaged their end of it, you know, it's really just kind of been a train wreck, you know.
Mr. Wilson, what did you want to say?
I didn't,
You didn't have anything? Okay, I thought you were trying to talk.
no,
Okay, so we'll put it then on the agenda to vote to pursue a court case. If we could add that, Mr. Chairman of the Agenda Committee.
Okay, 1 and 2 options.
Yes, it's called a relief from stay and a motion to dismiss.
I'll let you worry about that.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay, the next thing we have is we had to update, and our police chief is here if you need to ask him any questions, but he did update his police policy with everything going on, with all the stuff that's going on with different police and procedures and all that. So we actually took another look at all of our police procedures. We did go by pretty much what the state recommended. We have had Cecilia look it over, and so I told Tabor, the actual policy book is huge, several inches. And so I asked him if he would just list the things that were being changed. It's basically nothing but updates. Would you like for him to come in and give you a overall view on this? Or do you want to look through that? Would you like for him to come and talk to you?
I mean, I don't understand what everything is. If he didn't mind, give us just like a little quick brief.
Would you come in here, please? He's coming.
I reviewed each one of these on the list. They all meet standards, and it's a great policy manual. It is extremely large, and those officers do a great job of studying it.
Okay, here's the chief. He will give you kind of an update. You need a copy of this?
No, I mean, I haven't memorized all of them yet. There's a lot, but most of all the model policy we have is from the Arkansas Association Chief of Police. Most of them are already in there in some form or another. They're just updated. They're more up to date. It's gone over not only by police chiefs, but also attorneys. And a lot of them already been proven in court and contain a lot of court judgments, Supreme Court judgments. So it just really protects the city a lot better. A lot of the other ones that you see that aren't underlined were just minimal changes that over the time that we put in there that I made some adjustments to.
Well, I got a question on one. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, what is this stop, arrest, and search?
That's what you do when you stop someone, you know, either on a traffic stop or you have an encounter with them. It's guidelines that what you can and can't do. It covers probable cause, reasonable detention, just all the legal boundaries that you're to abide by when you encounter somebody.
And you had to update that? Is that what you're saying?
You know, we had the policies, but these were just more detailed. When you start looking at it, it's more combined. The probable cause, the reasonable suspicion, all that's all in the same policy instead of in different areas throughout the policy. So it's much easier to read and understand.
So you got canceling the citations.
Yeah, yeah. The only change I made there is that you can have civil penalty, and there are times that officers in the past could put civil penalty on a citation. And I just didn't think it was right. I think you have to petition the court, let the judge decide on the civil penalty, not the officer.
Thank you.
Now, if you want the entire book, I was gonna tell y'all, if you want the entire policy, Tabor said he'd be glad to put each one of it on the flash drive for you to read. But you're gonna have to have a flash drive, and you're gonna have to bring it up, because it's several pages of it, like, how thick is it, like? It's probably about that thick.
You're going to need a Snickers when you
It's like
start
3
reading.
inches.
Yeah, it's about
one of
3 inches thick, so, but we don't mind a bit getting you a flash drive for you to open it from home, but it'd be an awful lot if you don't want it to print all of it out on paper. We can do it though, if you want to. But we can provide you with a flash drive that you can just stick in your thing and look through it. In your tablet.
I have a question.
Okay.
What is bias-based policing?
Policing is what it is, and then any traffic stop that we come across, it has to determine while you're there, the race of the individual. It also determines if you search or not search, and it's a complete detailed list of in every encounter or traffic stop that you have that we have to submit to NIVERS every year, that we calculate every month. And just to ensure that there is no bias going on each month, we can see the breakdown of all the traffic stops or encounters.
Okay.
Explain what
Do
happened.
you actually have to say whether or not you stopped a black or a white or a Mexican person?
Yes. Every encounter that we come in, it breaks it down.
And that goes into where?
It goes into NIVERS, in which NIVERS is a reporting-based system. We also have to submit it once a year to the Attorney General's office. And it's the oversight to make sure that everything's being done fair. And then we do it every month, so we can see if we believe if there's an issue, and then we can start looking into it deeper.
Okay.
And I will tell you this, a lot of this reporting that's required for them to do, it also is what's helped them to get some of the grants. Some of these reporting things, if they did not do all this properly, it would prevent them from getting some of their grants that they get for their bulletproof vest. I don't, what else, a lot of different things I've gotten in it, Tabor, through the grants.
A lot of it, like eCrash, we've got grants through that to support all of our computers in our cars.
So they're required to do it. If you don't do it, there are penalties for not doing these reports.
Yeah.
Is that correct, Tabor?
There is.
One more question. So does someone else tell you if you're biased, or are you deciding that yourself?
No, you can look at it. It's pretty easy to break down to see on the traffic stops and the counters, the race, what was it for? A citation issued, a citation not issued? Was there a search? Was the search consent? Was it incident to arrest? It has all those factors that you have to put in there.
But you pretty much review it yourself. Nobody's checking you, is what I'm saying. Is the state checking you?
Yeah, every year. We submit these every year to the state.
Wow. And so you felt like you need to do this just because of like all the protesting and stuff that's been going on, or?
No, we've done this for years. This is nothing new. This has been going on. It's just an oversight. You just want to make sure, and if it looks like someone's being targeted, a specific race, it gives us an oversight right at the beginning to really start looking, is there an issue or is there not an issue? And so it's just precautionary to make sure we don't run into those problems.
Right.
Basically, David, all these policies, police and fire and any other the individual policies within the departments really need to be reviewed every few years to make sure there aren't any changes. He started just reviewing it and realized that due to the state standards, and there had been other attorneys and there had been other police chiefs and things that actually had worked on some different wording that might have been a little different from his. So really, it's nothing more than a basic update, because it's been quite a few years since they've updated that policy book. Is that correct, Taylor?
2007 was the major overhaul of the policy.
So since 2007, we've worked off the same policy. Since then, there's changes, there's different procedures that the state require, and so it was just time to update that. We've also got the fire chief, we got him doing the same thing for the fire department. So you're probably gonna see the fire department's coming up pretty soon also. We're just trying to update anything that's old.
So all of this is for the betterment of Malvern.
It is, it's a safety for the Malvern, safety for the officers and the citizens.
And I think an important note for you guys to know is this policy manual covers every aspect of everything they do, literally, from the way they dress and the way their appearance is to how to conduct a traffic stop and what you can and can't do. And when we get sued by a defendant, it always comes back to, what does your policy manual say? So very important document, and he's done a great job updating it. And it's an interesting read if you're, bored. Because I had to read them just to make sure. And some of it's really interesting and some of it, but it's the life of a police officer in a binder, for sure.
Because, and probably a lot of you know this, because when I came as mayor, I didn't have a clue, but, Cecilia is our prosecuting attorney for the city. So she actually has her hand on every case that we have, be it police, be it something to do with fire, something to do with code office, animal control. She is our prosecutor, so she has to make sure that she's up on all of our policies. So that's why she gets to read them word to word. A lot of people don't realize that she really is our prosecuting attorney. Isn't that correct,
Yes.
Cecilia?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And we have great officers that follow their manual, which is so important to me.
But if anybody wants a flash drive, just let me know and we will get you that flash drive. So other than that, that's all I have, but we would like to get this put on the agenda so we can vote to approve it.
Okay, Mayor. I'm gonna start up at the top. Do I have a motion and second to put the resolution on next week's city council meeting for the 2021 city budget? Do I have a motion and a second?
Make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
All right. All right.
All in favor?
All right.
Okay.
Mama wanted to say aye.
We're missing somebody. I have a motion and second to put the waterworks, the resolution for the waterworks budget on next week's agenda, on next week's city council meeting.
Make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the motion carries. Okay. Looks like there's going to be an ordinance for Morrison Park for the city to deed over our portion of the property to the high school. Do I have a motion and a second to put that on the agenda?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay, on Perla Water, I don't guess this is a resolution or an ordinance, just we're going to vote to pursue options 1 and 2 that's presented by the city attorney. Do I have a motion to put that on the agenda?
So move.
Do I have a second? William, you want to second that?
Second.
Have any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Let's see. Did I miss anything?
Police policy.
A motion second to put the new police policy next Monday night city council meeting.
I make the motion.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Okay, motion
Okay.
carried, Mayor.
Then also, Larry, we need the resolution about the additional funds being paid to the bond issue. We'll have the
Yeah,
resolution.
yeah, I'm gonna get to that. I got it written down here.
Okay,
Okay, do I
okay.
have a motion in a second, to put the extra bond payment on, next Monday night's agenda?
Make a motion.
And that
Second.
will be a resolution, won't it, Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a motion in a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Okay, all right, Mayor. Anybody wishing to appear or next Monday night? Do any council members have anything else they'd like to see on the agenda? If not, I need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All right, we're adjourned. All right, Mayor.
Okay. All right, the only thing I have, I just want to let you know that we are going to bid the fire station on December the 22nd at 2:30. And it will be on your Teams program if, like you did this meeting, if you want to attend it. We've had, I believe Greg Putfrey told me we've had 15 construction companies that have requested packets to bid. So hopefully with that many large construction companies, we'll get a good bid out of it. So that will be December 22nd at 2:30. It is on your Teams calendar, so you can dial into the meeting. All the participants will be asked to come into this meeting at Zoom, just like y'all are doing. But we will be here at this location to actually physically open up the bids so that they can see us do that. We will have Mr. Comfrey here. We'll need to have Phyllis here, and I'm sure the fire chief and Mr. Brewster will be here. So you will be able to watch it if you'd like to dial in. The only other thing I've really got is that COVID community count today, which is down a little bit, and the judge and I really felt like it would be up by now because of Thanksgiving, but we're at 119 community cases, not counting the nursing home or the prison. So we're at 119 today. We've had a lot of relatives and friends and people that are either have it or in the hospital or passed away. So it is real, folks, and I just ask you to please be careful and take it serious. And the quorum court did go back. They had been meeting together since the courtroom is so large and asking the people that wanted to listen to it to come on to their Zooms program. They did vote to go back to meetings like we're doing because of the counts going up so high. And they've had to cut the close the courtroom a couple times to actually be sprayed because of some cases and stuff. And so anyway, just asking you all to please be careful. But other than that, I guess that's all I have tonight. But we will have all these things ready for you. We will have the additional monies this time, the $250,000 on the budget that will be included, and I'll include that whenever I give your packets for your new pages to go in your budget book. So does anybody have any questions for me? No? Well, I guess we're done then for tonight. I guess we'll see you next Monday. Thank you all so much for participating.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.